Hello, Anders on Time and Crown channel here. Today a comparison video between two new models from 2024. On the one side here I have the brand new Tissot Seastar 1000 40mm, this is the blue version. On the other side I have the brand new for 2024 Seiko Prospex SRPL11. Some people call this the Mini Samurai. In this video I want to give you all the differences and the pluses and the minuses in comparison between these two entry-level automatic dive watches. Also just to explore what you actually get when you buy somewhat of an entry-level Swiss automatic dive watch and an entry-level Japanese automatic dive watch. This is the blue turquoise version. It also comes in a black PVD version with a rubber strap, a black version and a two-tone version. It has 300 meters of water resistance. It has sapphire crystal on both sides. It comes on a stainless steel bracelet with polished center links, screw-down crown. It has a mineral crystal inlay here. This is not sapphire but mineral crystal. It has Swiss Superluminova, date at 6 o'clock. It is powered by the Swatch Group POWERMATIC 80 movement. So this is an automatic movement beating at 21,600 vibrations per hour and it has 80 hours of power reserve. I measure only 1 second minus per day and an amplitude of 305. So this is a very healthy, very accurate movement. The bezel insert here has 120 clicks. Everything aligns. Screw down crown, again 300 meters of water resistance. The watch actually measures 39.8 millimeters in diameter, 12.6 millimeters in thickness, only 45.9 millimeters lock tip to lock tip, and you see the bracelet, it kind of hangs straight down from the locks, so you get a very true to size fit of this watch. Then you have a 20mm lock opening and the bracelet tapers down to 18mm. A very simple fold over, 2 push button clasp, milled parts here, but still kind of a cheap and not very inspired or sexy looking clasp in any way. So here you see the POWERMATIC movement. The watch weighs 138 grams. And here we have the Seiko Prospex SPB121 Mini Samurai, maybe kind of a mishmash or a fusion between the Samurai, the Shogun and the Turtle. This is an entry-level watch from Seiko. It is priced at 650 euros, so 200 euros less than the Tissot. You should be able to get these watches maybe around $600 US if you look around. You see this is the red or the purple burgundy version. You can also get a black version and you can also get a black version with PVD treatment to the case and a black rubber strap. You have an aluminium bezel insert here. Lume Bright Seiko Lume. Screw down crown. 200 meters of water resistance, a nice little date window between 4 and 5. The watch is made in stainless steel and it has this kind of oyster style bracelet, everything brushed, very tooly. Drilled lock holes. You see solid case back and just like the Tissot, a very boring, uninspired clasp, fold over, 2 push button released. It is a secure clasp but it doesn't look very good. And compared to the Tissot, which had milled parts, this is stamped metal, not very good looking, but it's very secure nonetheless. The watch measures 41.9 millimeters in diameter. You have a thickness of 12.1 millimeters. Then you have 49.1 millimeters lock tip to lock tip, and just like the Tissot, you see you have no overhang from the bracelet. 20mm lock opening, and just like the Tissot, the bracelet tapers down to 18mm. A bigger crown at 6mm here. It only has mineral crystal, not sapphire crystal. Everything brushed, very tooly. Inside of this watch beats Seiko's NH35A movement. That's an automatic movement beating at 21,600 revolutions per hour. It has 41 hours of power reserve. I measured the accuracy to plus 11 seconds per day, so not as accurate as the Tissot, but this is also a more affordable watch than the Tissot. Now let's get into the comparison between these two watches, the pluses and the minuses. We already talked about some of the pluses with the Tissot, and again it is a more expensive watch than the Seiko, but you do get some pluses. Mineral inlay is more scratch resistant than aluminium inlay. Sapphire crystal is more scratch resistant than mineral crystal. The movement is almost a double in power reserve with the Tissot POWERMATIC compared to the NH35A with the Seiko. I do think that the bracelets are almost the same quality. I do like the bracelet of the Seiko more because it's brushed. I'm not a huge fan of the polished center links here. The clasps are essentially the same. A little plus with one more micro adjustment in the Seiko clasp, but a plus for the Tissot with the milled parts and not the stamped parts. Also, of course, a plus that you can see the movement through the sapphire crystal on the back. You do have easy removable spring bar function here and no drill lock holes, but you do get drill lock holes here. So you can see here both watches have very flat crystals. Side by side they look exactly the same in thickness, but the Tissot is a little thicker. Let's have a look at the crowns because I do enjoy the unsigned crown of the Seiko more, not because it's unsigned. I do think that the crown size is just a little nicer than the smaller crown here on the Tissot, as you see. It simply is more easy to use the crown. And I think bigger crowns on dive watches, they look great. So definitely a plus to the crown on the Seiko. 120 clicks on the Seiko. Much more stiff. I do feel that after owning this watch for a while, it is becoming a little looser. I must say the clicks, they feel much more professional, much higher quality on the Seiko compared to the Tissot. And everything also aligns on the Seiko. But I must say that I do think that the Tissot bezel is much easier to rotate. Now, also talking about the movements, the Swiss movement inside of the Tissot is better, double up in the power reserve and much more accurate, 1 second plus per day with my watch here. With the Seiko, I think it's perfectly acceptable with 11 seconds plus per day, but of course the movement is better in the Tissot, also much more anti-magnetic than in the Seiko. So let's compare the lume between these two watches. On the left side you see the Tissot Super Luminova Swiss Lume in blue, looks great. On the right side you see the Seiko Lume Bright in green. And I must say, and this is probably not a big surprise, the Seiko Lume is better than the Tissot Lume. Seiko, they are well known for making really great lume, and I do really think that it is just a little more potent, a little more glowing. And maybe it's because also the indices, these shark tooth indices on the Seiko, they are a bit bigger than on the Tissot. On the other hand, you do get a lot more lume in the fatter Tissot hands, these sword style hands on the Tissot, than you get with the Seiko. Both watches have these very nice white on black date complications, and I think both are really well made. The Tissot is much easier to read than the Seiko. On my 17 centimeter wrist circumference, the Tissot is the perfect size. It's absolutely probably the most perfect size for my wrist, and I think it wears really nicely. Again, it weighs 138 grams with some links removed from the bracelet. You also see this very nice polishing and brushing. I do think that the case finishing and the case design of the Tissot is more interesting and better made than on the Seiko. So here the SRPL is on my 17 centimeter wrist circumference. It wears really nicely. You can definitely feel that this is a bigger watch than the Tissot because this watch weighs 159 grams with links removed. So 20 grams almost more heavy than the Tissot. I think it wears really nicely. It's a more pronounced, bigger dive watch. So if you enjoy more expressive dive watches on your wrist and you like the heft, the Seiko is definitely your choice. Now, I said I do prefer the Tissot case over the Seiko case. The Seiko case is more legendary. This is a very legendary design, this samurai case. So regarding history, this is probably a more recognized case design, but it's simply just not as interesting as on the Tissot, and you only have one type of finishing, brushing. The Tissot also offers polishing. Also, with the Tissot dial, you get this really nice texture. With the Seiko, you get this matte purple texture. You can also find Seiko watches with the kind of same, the SPB watches with the kind of same texture as on the Tissot. So I think both watches, they offer something really good and some downfalls, of course, because they are entry level in both categories. Swiss entry level automatic dive watches, Japanese entry level automatic dive watches. And of course you get more quality with the Tissot because you pay 200 euros more for the Tissot than the Seiko. So of course some quality differences. But the cool thing with Swiss entry level dive watches, especially from the Swatch group, is that you always get these POWERMATIC 80 movements with much more power reserve than the entry level movements from Seiko, for example. And definitely I can recommend both watches. I also have full reviews of both of these watches. You can click the links down in the description. So I hope you enjoyed this comparison between these two watches. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down in the description. Give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you very soon again. Thank you. Bye.